Well, are you guys? I'll tell you what I'm allergic to because it's kind of funny. It's not a food though. Are you allergic to anything?
No. Environmental things.
Yeah,
Yes.
seasonal allergies.
Yeah.
I have seasonal allergies. I found out I was allergic to one thing. Whenever you have kids, they recommend you get this Tdap shot, which is a form of a tetanus kind of shot. Well, I got it, and then it was about 12, 15 hours later, I felt my neck kind of lump up a little bit, right? And it's like your glands, and they were getting like big, like puffy, you know? So I called the doctor. They said, wait on it. You may have a reaction. You could have like a small reaction. Well, the next morning, my gonads were thumping. I mean, thumping. Like, it was like a heartbeat in my two guys. Like, and it was just wouldn't relent. And they got swollen. And I was like, well, it's not a bad thing if it moved a little bit north. But anyhow, so I called the doctor and I said, listen, it's not getting better. It's getting worse. My neck is swollen and my, below my belt, it's just thumping and it's tender. So I went back to the doctor. It was this Tdap vaccine, right? And they're like, you'll never believe this, but this happens. You know how I tell you, Dorn, all the stuff, crazy stuff happens to me. They're like, and it gave me this number, 1 in 6.7 million people have this reaction, and it's why you sign the paper, and there's nothing bad's going to happen. You're just going to have to, fight through it or whatever. But it was like every time my heart beat, it was like, whoomp, whoomp. I could feel it in my... yes.
Why there though? Like it was only your throat and down below. That's it.
Those 4 places, either side of my neck and either side of my pish.
Berries.
Yeah, I felt it was there, but it was unrelenting and thumping, and it felt like every time my heart beat or it thumped, it was like a bruise that was getting punched.
So did you just have to wait for it to go away?
I wrote it out. I wrote it out. I cranked back a 6-pack of beer, and I had Advil because it was a weekend.
How long did the thumping in the nuts go?
It's about 24 hours.
Awful.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It was bad. And I said to the doctor, hey, Doc, it's a woman. She's great. I said, Doc, what are we doing here? And she goes, well, you've had an adverse reaction, but it won't kill you, and it won't, bind up your throat, and you'll still be able to breathe and everything.
Enough about my throat.
Right.
Did she have to check him?
She did.
Oh, boy.
I had to lay down on my back and on that white piece of butcher shop paper.
Yeah.
And it was crinkling like that. And I just went, and this was so it would have been, I want to say, was it right before or right after? When do you get that? Right before or right after your kids are born? I think just before.
Right before, yeah.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 months before. So it would have been 12 years ago. And she was like, oh, yeah. You're swollen. I was like, oh,
thanks.
I know that.
Excuse me if anything else.
I remember I went in on I
well.
got the shot on a Wednesday. By Friday, it was unbearable. And then I went back to the doctor that Friday afternoon and then wrote it out over the weekend.
Did it gradually get to Friday, or was it just one day? It was boom.
It first started with my neck on that Thursday.
Okay.
And then Thursday night into Friday, it traversed down. And then Friday afternoon, it was unbearable. I mean, every single thump of my heartbeat, it was I was getting, it wasn't a full-on kick. It was
Enough.
Yes, it was I was sitting next to something and something was just tapping me in the area each time.
Boom, boom.
But
boom, boom.
thousands of times a day.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I go, Doc.
That would happen to
Doc,
you.
we got to, yeah, right. But you had to get that shot because, you're having kids. And
right.
my kids ended up in the NICU anyway. They were going to be born kind of premature, they thought. But it was tough. And so about allergies, I'll eat anything. I don't care. I just won't get that Tdap shot ever again. You could send me down a rescue mission for this Ike. What was it called?
Yeah, sure.
What was the hurricane?
Ian.
Same. You could send me down to that, Ian. Swim in all that river. Drink it all. Hey, you want a tetanus? No, thanks. I'm good. I am not getting that thing again. It hurts so bad.
I wonder what
I don't know. Something bad happened.
Yeah.
Wednesdays with Whaley